The last dance of Versailles. The year was 1775, a time of grandeur and decadence in the royal courts of France. King Louis XVI had just ascended to the throne, alongside his young and beautiful queen, Marie Antoinette. Versailles was a place of splendor, where golden chandeliers illuminated lavish banquets, where courtiers whispered secrets in hidden corridors, and where power was as fragile as the delicate lace on the queen's gown. Among the many nobles who thrived in the opulence of Versailles, the Duke of Rouen stood apart. Once a trusted advisor to King Louis XV, he found himself wary of the young king's rule. He was a man of ambition, willing to risk everything to ensure his own survival in the shifting tides of politics. His eyes, however, were set on something even more dangerous: Marie Antoinette herself. The queen, young and naive, relished the pleasures of court life but was oblivious to the brewing storm outside the gilded palace gates. France's economy was crumbling under debt, its people growing restless with hunger, but inside Versailles, the parties continued unabated. Marie Antoinette, longing for excitement, often hosted masked balls, where nobles could indulge in secret rendezvous behind the anonymity of ornate masks. One such evening, beneath the dazzling glow of candelabras, the Duke of Rouen approached the queen. Disguised as a Venetian noble, he whispered words of admiration, his intentions hidden beneath layers of charm. Marie Antoinette, flattered yet cautious, played along, unaware that this was the beginning of a dangerous game. As weeks passed, rumors spread like wildfire. The queen had taken a lover, they said. Courtiers whispered behind gilded fans, their words dripping with envy and intrigue. The king, though often preoccupied with matters of state, could not ignore the murmurs. His advisors, ever watchful, warned him of the consequences should the people begin to believe their queen was unfaithful. Marie Antoinette, though innocent of any true betrayal, found herself ensnared in a web of deceit. The Duke of Rouen, seeing his advantage, sought to manipulate her into confiding in him. He spoke of a France that needed new leadership, of a king too weak to rule, of a future where she alone could wield power. The queen, though young, was not foolish. She saw through his words but played along, hoping to expose his true motives. One fateful evening, Marie Antoinette invited the Duke to a secret meeting in the Hall of Mirrors. Under the grand ceiling painted with scenes of victory, she revealed her knowledge of his treachery. Before he could react, the king's guards emerged from the shadows, seizing him. The Duke of Rouen, once a nobleman of great influence, was stripped of his titles and exiled from Versailles, his ambitions crumbling like the very foundations of the old regime. Though the queen had triumphed, the damage was done. The people's perception of her was tainted. To them, she remained a foreign queen, indifferent to their suffering. The whispers of discontent grew louder, echoing through the streets of Paris. The fall of Versailles had begun, and with it, the slow unraveling of a kingdom that once stood unshakable. As Marie Antoinette stood at the palace window, gazing at the moonlit gardens, she could not shake the feeling that history had already set its course. The last dance of Versailles had begun, and the music would soon come to a tragic end.